So Tatiana, also what I'm hearing, what you're saying is, as an anthropologist and really looking at the human-centered approach, as leaders, to me, it sounds like we also need to stay very close to the source and to our employees to see what is working for them, what isn't working for them. Because sometimes we tend to jump to conclusions, right, when things aren't
Yes.
working. And if we don't really understand as well as we understand our client, if we don't understand our employees and what is happening, there could be a disconnect between
Mhm.
the message, the results that we want, and what is actually happening.
Yep. So I think that's absolutely true. And early in my career, my very first boss out of college was Scott Edwards, who is a fantastic just manager. And the first thing he taught me was the practice of managing by walking around. And whenever he didn't have a meeting or he wasn't in meetings, he would just walk, the halls and walk past all of his entire organization and sort of pop in and say, how are you doing? Is there anything I can do for you? And that, to me, as someone right out of college, that a vice president would be walking the halls and asking a 22-year-old, how are you doing? And is there anything I can help you with? Made a really big impact on me. And I often would ask him questions about the strategy or about the next projects coming up. And it really helped me both see the larger context of the business, and it also helped me navigate my career, right? Because then if I asked him, what new things are coming up, what should I be planning for, I would know what projects were coming up, and I could put myself in the position, right, to be a little bit more proactive.
That's right.
And get the next awesome project, right?
Yeah.
Because I would ask him. And so I have done that my entire career. And I am a big believer in, no matter what level you're at, whether you're the CEO of a 300,000 person company, it is great to just walk around every once in a while and pop in with people and say, how are you doing? Is there anything I can help you with?
That's right.
I think you'll find that the impact on people is really big, and they will often call you over to their computer and say, hey, I'm working on this thing. Can you please take a look?
Yeah.
And then you will actually see what people are doing,
yeah,
and how they're working. And you can actually just sense the energy, right, of the place when you're walking around.
Yeah.
So get out of your office, walk around, and actually engage with people and ask them, like, is there anything I can help you with? Most of the times people are going to be like, no, I'm good. But, if you sense that there's somewhere else that you should dig, also trust your intuition.
That's right.
And dig a little bit more and be like, oh, okay. If there's any way I can help you, let me know. I hear you're working on this project. How's that going? Right? So really trust your intuition and encourage people to actually talk openly with you.
I like that. I like that a lot. And I know that the Gallup poll came out in 2015 indicating that 52% of our employees are not engaged.
Yes.
So I think this is a great solution to begin, and simple, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't require a big budget. It
Nope.
doesn't require a big, committee to get together to discuss it. This is simply walking the hallways.
Yeah. Also, as when you're a leader and you think that there's something a different place where you want your organization to go, one thing that I would ask leaders to think about is, in the same way that we design products, right, we can actually start to design organizations.
Tell me more about that.
Yeah, the 4 levers that we can use to actually think about how to design our organizations are 4 S's, so they're easy to remember: story, structure, systems, and skills. So story is the storytelling that we do as leaders. And the thing to understand about story is, what I often see CEOs who want to build more innovative cultures, what I often see them do is bring together an executive meeting, have a one-day offsite somewhere, and then they come up with their new corporate values. And those new corporate values are innovation, risk-taking, and customer obsession, right? For example, or customer focus. So, and then the CEO will come back and the next day they will write an email, and that email will say, employees, yesterday we had an offsite and we have decided we are going to be a more innovative company. And our new values are innovation, risk-taking, and customer focus. If you have any questions, please let me know, right?
Right.
Does it sound familiar?
Oh, yeah.
Sounds familiar. Yeah, it sounds familiar to everybody.
Yeah.
And so the response in almost every organization is business as usual.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
Would you agree? Yeah.
I agree.
So because there is nothing there other than words. There is nothing there that makes me believe that there's a new direction. There is nothing there in the delivery of the information that was in any way innovative. Sending an email is certainly not the CEO like taking a risk, and there is nothing about the customer.
That's right.
So not only did your format fall short, but the content doesn't match the way that you delivered that story.
That's right.
Right. So imagine, right, if the CEO had done something else, which is, okay, we want to really emphasize risk-taking, right, and innovation and customer focus. So the CEO brings together, the top 2 customers of the company, right, puts them on stage and asks them to speak to him openly about all the things that are really, really bad about the company and the product, right? That's pretty risky.
I was going to say that's risk-taking right there.
That's risk-taking. That's innovative.
Customer focused.
And it's customer focused, right?
Yes.
Now, do people get the message in the company?
Absolutely.
That the CEO really believes in this?
Absolutely.
Because he or she is putting themselves out there to be, talked to very negatively by their 2 top customers about all the bad things that have happened to them, right? So storytelling is extraordinarily important, and there is almost nothing more important in the CEO's job than storytelling, and storytelling in the right way. So Jeff Bezos, the CEO of Amazon, if you read his shareholder letters, they are all stories to the employees and potential employees of the organization about what is the culture of the organization, right? It's not about the investment strategy, and it's really about what is the DNA of this organization and where is it going, right? And you really believe it, right? Based on those words. So you still can write, right? There's nothing wrong with writing, but it has to come off in a believable way. So that's story. The second is structure. And this is, the basic organizational chart. And the question is, how are you organizing the company? And what are you optimizing the company for, right? So if all of the creative, part of the company, reports into, engineering or reports into operations, how important is the creative part to this company? You can just see it in the org chart often, right? And so, and so where is the decision-making authority literally situated in the org chart? Who gets to make decision, and who do those decisions need to pass through in order to get the budget that they need for the ideas to both see the light of day and to survive?
Okay.
Right? And that you can often read directly off an org chart. So how do you structure the organization? The third one is systems. And systems are the formal and informal processes within an organization. So the product development process, of course, for innovation is very, very important. But so is the budgeting process. The budgeting process is a piece of an organizational system that I think is often overlooked, right? When people think about becoming more innovative organizations. When it comes, honestly, ideas are, cheap and they are easy.
Right.
But getting the budget and the sustained resources to actually to implement them and to scale them is very, very hard in most budgeting processes.
I agree.
Especially if you have a budgeting process where it's like everybody gets 10% more than what they got last year. By definition, your innovative projects are started zero.
That's right. That's right.
And so you're going to have to take from other areas in order to fund those things well. And so your budgeting process is going to kill any idea
Yeah,
that people, any great ideas that people might have within the organization.
absolutely.
So systems are very, very important.
So we have about, I would say about 5 more minutes. So I want to ask you another question. So tell us the last one, and then I want to ask you another question.
Oh, so, and then skills, which are the human talents that we have access to. So that is all of, you know, it's recruiting, it's incentivizing people, it's, you know, how do we do performance management? What kinds of people do we bring into the organizations? What kinds of behaviors do we reward within the organization? And then importantly, in this era of quick, fast turnarounds and churn, really how we say goodbye to people. Because often when people leave, especially top performers, we're probably not going to be able to get them to stay, but we can do one of two things. We can burn them so that those top performers tell their networks that what a horrible place we are to work, or we can prop them up, say goodbye to them in a very positive way, and build an alumni network that will be incredibly strong. So saying goodbye is one of the pieces of human performance and human management that people often overlook.
I would agree with that. I've never really heard any leader really focus on doing that goodbye in a very elegant way. And some companies get it right and some companies don't.
Right.